And it's Lee Kelson here from Beach City. We are live at the Capital. We are, and I'm here with the Brisbane Chief Digital Officer, Kat Matson. Hey, Kat.
Hey, Lee. How you going?
I'm good. We're just talking about bad hair days. I said I'm having a bad hair day.
I live in a bad hair day. Well, or I just let my hair have its own personality. It just does its thing.
Right. So the Capital, this is really interesting. Can you tell us about it?
Sure. So it's an extraordinary space. We've got 3 levels here plus a rooftop. So the level that we're on here is our community and event space. We recognise that in any innovation space, we need to have places where people can hang out, where they can bump into each other, where they can, what I call, engineer serendipity. So we've got the event space behind us, pop-up entrepreneur events going on today. It looks like it's an absolute full house, which means we're probably sitting about 170, 180 people in there. Plenty of people in front of us working on their own ideas. None of these guys look like they're permanent members. So, they're casual members here in the space. Then upstairs, we've got one level of Fishburners, which is also where me and my team hang out. Fishburners are for early stage digital and tech startups. Some of their Sydney stories are actually quite phenomenal, and what I like about the Fishburners philosophy is it's very community orientated, but they're also building and helping to build large scale global startups without the egos that I think we often celebrate in the startup ecosystem. And then up on level 3, we've got, level 4, Little Tokyo 2, often looking after the startups who are a bit more advanced, so they're possibly revenue generating, or they're not just focusing on a tech element. And then if you need some fresh air, we've got the rooftop for, again, more ideation and just creative think space.
So we did the interview with Nick, who is the pop-up entrepreneur here. We were up on the roof space. So it's a pretty cool space.
Yep.
This building, so what's the history of the building? Okay. It's amazing.
It is. So we enter through the Visitor Information Centre, which is the old Regent Theatre off Queen Street Mall. This is actually a brand new building that is kind of built in the void that used to be the Regent Theatre. Right. This facility is here because of Brisbane City Council, and I don't want to get too much into the detail, but it's a $5 million commitment over the next 5 years to support entrepreneurs and the civic innovation community to ensure that we've got the space to do it. So it's not just for startups here. We actually use this space for a lot of our Brisbane Innovate events, which is open innovation to solve civic challenges. We recently hosted an event to brainstorm ideas for new solar powering for the Christmas tree. Right. We've also done some stuff around different ways to provide better customer service from a council perspective, and we've got some more stuff coming up in the next couple of months. So it's not just about startups, it's how do we encourage startups and corporates to come together to solve the big juicy challenges that are facing the city.
And so, I mean, you probably partly answered my next question, but so why is it important that we do have these types of facilities, and why is everyone talking innovation? Why is everyone talking about startups?
So look, innovation's not new, and nor are startups really. So I think
they used to be called businesses when I started.
Well, when in my day they were small businesses too, right? And some small businesses become big, and some small businesses stay small. But I think it's important that we don't get caught up in the semantics of it. Why it's important right now is for a few reasons. First of all, we know that some of the traditional industries that have been large employers are changing, whether they're dying because they're no longer important industries or because the nature of the work, whether automation, robots, etc. So we don't have the same level of large employers. Second, we know that we keep getting these waves of disruption fear, which industry is going to be disrupted next. We need to build our capabilities to deal with that disruption, not resist it, but to kind of go, how do we think into the possibilities of what's happening next? And traditionally, large businesses don't do that well, not because there aren't great people in there, but because as they become bigger, they become more bureaucratic by necessity. It's not a bad thing. But so then they start losing the opportunity to engineer serendipity, have random conversations. So why is it important that we support startups in innovation? Because startups approach the world in different ways. They see the world in different ways. They see challenges in different ways, and they solve them faster. They therefore encourage innovation, and the reason for having this space right here in the heart of the CBD is so we can contaminate corporate Brisbane with innovative thinking, and we can actually literally smash them together and go, hey, see what's going on here. Yep. It's not to say that one way is better than the other. There is heaps too that startups can learn from corporates, but we need to create the space for them to do that, because those kind of conversations don't happen in a coffee shop. They don't happen in a Facebook conversation. They happen when people are just randomly talking in a space like this.
And I think that's probably the idea, is try and replicate some of these innovation places around the world that have this, like you say, this the serendipity of collisions of, I think a lot of the businesses that I've been involved in or started, it's been from collisions of people that say, hey, we're doing this, well, that's interesting, so it's actually those things. So importantly, I think it's also about community, though I know there's been a little bit of competition with some... You fib.
I do fib. Of course there's competition, and there's always been competition, hasn't there? And whether that competition has been driven by private versus public, whether it's driven by different politics or political orientations, it's there because we're humans.
Yes.
I think what we need to do is keep let me rephrase. We often drive for this utopian vision of wanting everyone to play the same game, but that would generate sweet nothing.
Yes.
It really wouldn't. You need some tension, you need some competitive forces at work.
Competition's healthy, right?
That's
Keeps
right.
you lean, keeps you on your toes.
But you also, different people resonate with different things, like some entrepreneurs need a very different kind of support than others, or they need a different community, or they need access to different customers. So again, I'm not interested in this one's better than that one. It's more, there is more than enough work that needs to be done for all of us to come in and play. Let's collaborate where it works to collaborate. Let's leave each other to our own when it works to do that. And let's build one fabulous Australian startup ecosystem. Because Australia's a small enough place that, I talk about one city, one state, one country, one ecosystem, nothing in between.
Look, that's a good note to finish the interview on, but I'd add, I think there is only one ecosystem, and that's a global one.
Absolutely.
And we're just part of a big global ecosystem, and everybody's got to play their part. But I think the message I take out there is collaborate. We're always going to be competing because of human nature. That's good, it's healthy. I think in business it's healthy. And if it was, if everything was a green fields, no competition, commerce wouldn't work, right?
Well, if you don't need to drive to do something better, where's the drive to do it? Right. There's got to be some form of push. For some people it's competitive nature, but you know what? We're not a young economy. There's always competition. There's always people doing different things, and there's always duplication of effort. The trick is to figure out how do we minimise the duplication of effort while we all build an extraordinary, as you say, global ecosystem right here where we want to live.
Yeah, that's cool. So thanks, Kat. Thanks for the awesome work you're doing, and hopefully we're going to grab some people when they get out of this room and talk to a whole heap of other people. So
awesome.
Thanks. See ya.